Should Barack Obama be held accountable for that Christmas airplane bomber? The guy on approach to Detroit who tried setting off a firecracker in his pants, a firecracker from Al-Qaeda, which, if it had operated properly, would have blown that plane in two and killed at least 250 people. Should Barack Obama be held responsible for that? Actually, the answer is yes. Not because of failures in screening. The failures in screening are a consequence, I believe, of a lackadaisical attitude coming from Janet Napolitano, our so-called Secretary of Homeland Security or whatever. That Fruit Loop needs to be cut off the tree just as quick as possible. No, Barack Obama was not at fault for that guy getting on the plane with that explosive. But Barack Obama can legitimately be held responsible for a focus in our anti-terrorism efforts on Afghanistan instead of on Yemen. And in fact, Barack Obama, and his attitude most particularly about Guantanamo Bay and who should or shouldn't be released, is at least in part responsible for the buildup of terrorist activities in Yemen. President Obama has talked an awful lot about how we've got to go to Afghanistan with extra tens of thousands of troops. We've got this master plan. We'll start to pull out in a year and a half, but we probably won't be completely out for 20 years. It's an interesting kind of deal. But falling into the trap, which has caught many a president, he's very busy fighting the last war. Circumstance shows us, however, that the current war is not in Afghanistan. It's in Yemen. That's where the bad guys have gone. That's where the bad guys have formulated three specific plots which have attacked our country. One Muslim guy, inspired by folks in Yemen, went to an army recruiter station and started killing people. Another Muslim guy, inspired by someone from Yemen, went to Fort Hood, started shooting up the in-processing clinic. And then on that airplane on Christmas Day, another Muslim guy, inspired by somebody from Yemen, tried to bring down an American jetliner. Yemen is where the bad stuff is happening. Afghanistan is where our national focus is. And that is Barack Obama's fault. Further, this notion that the bad guys at Gitmo are folks we can treat like criminals, well, that's kind of put to lie by the fact that most of the people running the problems in Yemen are people who were once held at Guantanamo Bay. We turned them loose. They got their heads straight, so we're told, in some Saudi Arabian program, but as soon as they graduated from their religion of peace training, they went right back to being terrorists, and that's no good. Anyway, I'll leave this alone, except to say, forgive my computer talking in the background. There were a lot of folks who were very eager to jump on President Obama in the wake of the Christmas almost attack. Some of their criticisms were unjustified and missed the mark. But though he was not responsible for that fellow not having been screened out before he got on that plane, it is clear to see that policies of the Obama administration have misdirected our primary front in the war on terror. Instead of where the enemy is now, we're focused on where he was some 2 or 3 years ago. And I think another symptom of the problem we have, a problem which finds its origin in the administration of Barack Obama, is that when the authorities came on the plane to take into custody the Christmas bomber, you know the first thing they did? They read him his rights. They treated him the same way that a shoplifter at Kmart would be treated. They told him, an international terrorist sent to this country by Al-Qaeda with an explosive device, that he had the right to an attorney and that he had a right not to speak until his attorney was with him. That's a privilege we rightly afford criminals. It is a privilege we absolutely should not give to terrorists. Is Barack Obama responsible? In part, in all honesty, the answer is yes.